Pipe.
Oh, he's gonna
okay,
talk.
let's talk. By the way, I don't think Joe Biden is racist. I don't think Donald Trump is a racist. I just want to hold him to the same standard, and he's an idiot. Let's see if he fake stutters. Let's see if he fake stutters. Drink every time he fake stutters.
Left us with this wisdom. Give people light, and they will find the way. Give people light. Those are words for our time.
You got a light?
The current president has cloaked American.
Don't hide it under a bushel, you person of color.
Too much anger, too much fear, too much division.
No shit, Joe.
Here and now, I give you my word. If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I'll be an ally of the light, not the darkness.
Did you say the white?
It's time for us.
I'll be an ally of the whites, not the darkies.
I don't get it, Joe.
Make no mistake. United, we can and will overcome this season of darkness in America.
Overcome what season of darkness? You're talking about the greatest the country had ever been until you guys shut businesses down and started riots, which you still have yet to condemn, Junior.
He's talking about Black Lives Matter, what he's talking about. The darkness.
So it's a great honor and humility. I accept this nomination for President of the United States of America.
Of course you accept it. It's all you've ever wanted.
I'll be a Democratic candidate. I will be an American president.
Yes, no, you ain't. By definition.
Yeah, you have to be. Didn't support me. As hard for them as I did for those who did vote for me. That's the job of a president.
No stutter.
To represent all of us.
How does it happen that a stutter completely goes away if it's on prompter and you don't say retarded stuff?
This is not a partisan moment.
Hey, that's not how a stutter works, by the way.
Somebody sabotages the prompter.
It's a moment that calls for hope.
He's stuttering all over that little girl.
Hope for our future. Oops. Light to see
Wonder how many times he taped
love
this.
for one another.
Yeah.
Damn it, Joe! It's the 100th time, Joe.
No, it's a hologram. It's like Tupac.
Red states.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be live. Nothing else has been live, but they've left the live part.
Damn it, Joe! You can't say darkies. But they were in the pool.
Nearly a century ago,
It was on my teleprompter.
pledged a New Deal in a time of massive unemployment, uncertainty, and fear. Stricken by a disease, stricken by a virus, FDR insisted that he would recover and prevail, and he believed America could as well. And he
How did he get that wrong if that was written in front of him? Like he corrected disease to virus. Like,
does that count as a gaffe?
Now, is he really smart where he just has a speechwriter who's an idiot who miswrote and he felt like thinking on his feet? Do we want to believe that? Or do we want to believe that he's just an idiot who misspoke?
Not just the privileged few at the top.
Like yourself?
Winning it for those communities who have known the injustice of a knee on the neck.
Oh, come on,
For all
man.
the young people who have known only America.
That's like one guy, by the way. All the communities who have known the injustice of, like, that's, if you're really, you need to broaden your horizons of voting demographics.
Of America's promise.
The neon neck vote is not that coveted.
It's not the nice guy.
You know, no generation ever knows what history will ask of it. All we can ever know is whether we're ready when that moment arrives.
You're not ready, Joe.
And now history has delivered us to one of the most difficult moments America's ever faced.
Not that bad.
Four
But you were saying that
all at the same
in March.
time.
Yeah.
I was talking, you were saying
They
last
were
March.
saying that shit when Trump got elected.
But they were saying it when we had the best economy, and we'll have that again.
Yeah.
They're saying, it's like, now it's kind of true because you guys made it so by shutting down basically the entire economy. And if you would have your way, do it until Bill Gates shows up with his microchip vaccine. Yeah. I'm joking, but Windows 98, don't trust him with a TV shot. The point is, they always, Bill Maher, remember he said, oh, I hope we have an economy crash because you know what, it's at a certain point it's more important because the economy was so good, and it is so good. The fundamentals are still so sound. They need to try and drill it into people's head, into people's heads that there's uncertainty outside of the uncertainty that they've created with their lockdown. Yeah. People are more confident in the economy than ever.
I don't trust Bill Gates trying to kill a virus in human. He can't even fucking kill him in computers yet.
You have to get the guy. You have to get McAfee, who dumps through a hammock hole.
McAfee is the virus.
This will determine what America is going to look like for a long, long time. Character is on the ballot. Compassion is on the ballot. Decency, science, democracy, they're all on the ballot.
Yeah, it's on the red
Democracy
side.
is the ballot.
Who we are as a nation.
Democracy is the ballot.
It kind of is.
Who we
Yeah.
want to be.
It's like the definition of it. It's
On
like,
the ballot.
Would you like to have democracy?
And the choice could
Vote
not
yes
be
or no.
It's in, with, and under the
No
ballot.
rhetoric is needed. Just judge
Oh,
this
good.
president on
Then
the facts.
shut the
5 million Americans infected by COVID-19.
Drink.
More than 170,000 Americans have died. By far the worst performance of any nation on earth. More
Lies.
than 50 million
Lies,
people
lies,
filed
lies,
for
lies, lies, lies,
unemployment
lies.
this year.
Per capita deaths
More
are
than
actually
10 million
fantastic compared to many countries. And they're significantly better in in red states, than blue states. If you look at the worst states as far as COVID deaths, these are states that had severe lockdown measures, and they had, and by the way, almost synonymous with horrible nursing home policies
Yeah,
because,
could be a lot of
surprise,
that.
surprise, blue states, huge bloated bureaucratic government is inept, right? So blue states have done significantly worse as far as deaths per thousand, deaths per million, deaths per capita, but they've also done unbelievably worse as it relates to the unemployment rates and economies. If you look at certain areas of New York right now, 40% unemployment. You can't find that in any red states. I'm sure that you can find them somewhere in some hills with some people who, the hills have eyes or something. But the point is, we're talking about a major state in a major city, okay? So we're doing worse. No, and by the way, this is something too that CNN lied about. I think Chris Cuomo, I don't even know if we have a clip where he said, wow, why is it that we're actually, our economy is shrinking by 32% and Germany is only 11%. No, dummy. Germany's economy has actually shrunken more than the United States. It's that we use an annualized rate. So our rate was something like 10-point-something%, while Germany, that had more lockdowns and I believe less deaths per capita, I'm not entirely sure, had an 11% shrinking of the economy. So how does CNN not know?
But that's not what the prompter said. Yeah. Come on, yeah.
How does CNN not know that
What do
you
you
can't
expect it to
compare an
go off book?
annualized rate and a quarter?
Gosh.
Because Joe's making it up right now.
I'm surprised he's going this
President
long.
takes no responsibility.
He's showing a lot of
Refuses to
endurance,
lead,
ain't he? Yeah.
Blames others.
They stuffed smelling salts up his nose.
Of hate and
This is
division.
practically a marathon for the guy.
Yeah.
Division.
With Hillary Clinton, they had to stab her with a diazepam like the guy from 310 to Yuma. With him, they have to do it with just amphetamines, like he's fighting in Pride.
I see a different America.
You don't see
One that's
shit, Joe.
generous and strong,
It's too many eye
selfless
lifts.
and humble. It's an America we can rebuild together. As president, the first
After
step
we
I will
tore it
take
Wait, hold on
down.
a second.
will be to
You
get
didn't
control
build
of the
that.
virus that has ruined so many lives.
He's going to kill the virus.
He's gonna kill it.
He's gonna take care of the virus.
I'm going to kill it. I saw the deep blue sea.
But if you die, the virus dies with you.
You ate my bird.
Until we deal with this virus.
Drink.
The tragedy of where we are today.
How do you deal with it?
Is
Have you noticed this?
have to be this bad.
Nothing concrete until we deal with this virus.
look
How will
around.
you deal with it? Can we go to his website?
not
Can
this
someone bring
bad.
up some Joe Biden policy?
Well,
Yep.
Anything. How's it going to deal with the virus? All I've heard
Any
is
plan.
that he said he would force private companies to double testing.
The virus is going to disappear. He keeps waiting for a miracle.
By the way, isn't it
I
interesting
have
that they're going to
news for
force
him.
private
No
companies to
miracle
double
is
testing, but they're not
coming.
going to force private delivery services to speed up ballot voting because they want the most incompetent shitheads they can possibly have handling our mail-in votes? Like, you know what? Hey, we really want mail-in votes. Let's enlist the Amazon Prime vans. Let's go to FedEx. Like, no, the only one who can handle a job this important is the 13 years losing money running USPS.
So Biden's policy on his website is that he wants to strengthen the federal government and specifically the executive
I like strong things.
to have a decisive public health response as well as a decisive economic response. And yet in every moment, in every turn in the last 6 months has said Trump can't and shouldn't do anything or direct anything.
Yeah, keep in mind he
or
said that
whatever.
Donald Trump was xenophobic because of the travel ban, and he said it was mass hysteria. But it says decisive response. What's a decisive response? That's like when people talk about their journey on tantric yoga, right? They're like, oh, and it is all about being present, and your body is entirely releasing energy, and it's about being one with, what are you talking about? You're saying nothing. You look into each other's eyes and pant. What is he saying? Does he say what the
journey.
decisive policy is, or just, I'm going to have a decisive policy?
He's talking a whole bunch of nothing.
Duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning.
And what is that?
Our current president has failed
Nothing.
what?
in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect us He's failed to protect America.
Do you mean no major wars,
And my fellow
asshole?
Americans,
Versus more drone strikes
Yeah,
on
that's
civilians
awkward, dude.
than anyone?
What the fuck is he
protect
talking
Americans.
about?
He hasn't protected us?
Defend attack,
Up until your voting base rioted, we also had record low crime.
We can rebuild it
So
together.
that's definitely a bunch of progressives burning up shit.
I understand how hard it is to have any hope right now.
What?
This summer night.
This is the problem with the left.
me
They
take
only
a
have
moment
hope in
to speak
people,
to
right?
those of you
Some deity. Joe
lost
Biden's
the
and it's just really tough to do when you had that hope in a
some idea how it
charismatic person
feels
like
to
Barack
lose
Obama,
someone
who
you
was
love.
new, who people thought had good ideas, even though they had the wool pulled over their eyes. But when you have to hope for some transcendent political figure to save you, and instead you get Joe Biden. So that's why it's hard right now, because they don't believe in self-reliance, right? The left, I mean, you guys know about this. You were talking about how when you used to be liberals, they believe that the deck is stacked against them, and it needs to be someone changing the system, and the person changing the system who's going to fix all the problems is the guy who has suckled at the dollars of the system for 40 years.
Yeah, all liberals think the government should give you the American dream.
Hold on, guys. They
That's what
zoomed
they're
in.
waiting on.
They zoomed in.
Serious.
Serious.
As God's children,
that mean he made
each
a
of us
dookie
have
in
a
his
purpose
pants?
in our lives.
He
Show the bottom half.
Great purpose as a
He's
nation.
just swinging his
I
hips
don't
like
think he stuttered. I
Elvis.
think he just
to open the
made.
doors of opportunity to all Americans, to save our
They
democracy,
zoomed in with Elvis so they
to
didn't
be
see
a
his
light
hips.
to
But
the
yeah,
world
no.
once again,
Made
and
it as
finally
a
to live up to and make real.
Right off
the
camera,
words
Joe
written in
Biden's
the
going,
sacred
"Do you have
documents
to
that
make-"
founded this nation.
Man,
Go
fuck
potty.
you, Joe. Stop whispering at me, man.
Endowed by their
That's what
Creator
angers you most
with
about
certain
tonight?
inalienable
Motherfuckers getting all
rights
fucking
among
whispering and shit.
them, liberty and
We know he's serious though. No whispering.
You know, my dad was an honorable, decent man.
Not you,
He
though.
got knocked
His
down
dad
a few
wasn't
times
honorable?
pretty hard, but he always got back up.
Oh,
He worked
I'd like to
hard.
meet that guy.
And he built a
Sounds like a
great
better guy
middle
than
class life for our family. He used to say, Joey, I
Joey.
don't expect the government to solve my problems, but I sure in hell expect them to understand them.
What the fuck does that mean?
And then he said, the job is about a lot more than
Sounds
If
like
you vote for fucking Democrat, you're brain dead.
Yeah, man.
respect.
Boy, it was true with the beer. They
About your
really are
place
hot
in
and
the
mighty. Now, boys, that's okay. You can use potty mouth. Just stay away from these
I
slurs.
fell for this shit for years. I was voting for
feel bad.
Al fucking Gore. I was so lost, man.
You're here now.
It's a personal
You're here
attack,
now.
yeah.
Dignity, respect, and community. Together we can and will rebuild our economy. And when we do, we'll not only build back, we'll build back better. With
Like you
modern
did
roads,
under 8
bridges,
years of
highways,
Obama,
broadband,
1,000-year
ports and
pay
airports.
increase.
As a new
Under Obama, 8
foundation for
years,
economic growth.
5,000 in
With
like
pipes
2.5.
that transport clean
his whole
water
in
career?
3 years.
to every community. With 5 million new manufacturing and technology jobs. so
I'll go on the
future
record
is
and say this.
made in
If
America.
you out there, anyone watching, if you believe that we had a better economy, if you would prefer the economy that existed under Barack Obama at any point than Donald Trump at any point, you're a succubus who is providing nothing of value to society. I mean that. Anyone who is working for a living, anyone who is paying taxes, anyone who is actually paying into the system cannot, logically, cannot objectively say that this economy was better under Barack Obama or even in the same league. You can say that he liked peeing on Russian prostitutes on the Formica table, even though there's no evidence. You can say you wish that they got him on the Russia collusion, even though there's no evidence. You can say that he's mean. You can say that he tweets too much. You can say that he eats McDonald's and he drinks Diet Coke and maybe he's... You can say all those things, but you cannot objectively say if you are anything other than a non-contributing shitbag that the economy is not better under Donald Trump for you and your family